I know you're probably saying, if you're reading the title of this video, you're probably saying it to yourself, this guy must have gone crazy. But it's true. This is, for a fact, the most consequential movie in the MCU. So what we're talking about here is Avengers Age of Ultron. And I think, in my personal opinion, it is the most consequential movie in the MCU. And I'll tell you why. A lot of the characters that we are introduced to, especially now in the MCU, were a result of what happened in Age of Ultron. Now let's just be honest with ourselves here. Sure, the first Avengers movie was epic. It was fun. But, of course, it's not the best Avengers movie. We can probably say that maybe either Infinity War or Endgame are probably the two best Avengers movies. But if we are going to talk about specifically the most consequential movie in the MCU, it has to be Age of Ultron. Now, we all have to agree that without Age of Ultron, a movie like Captain America Civil War would have not happened. Specifically because the topic of that movie was the signing of the Sokovia Accords. And without the events of Age of Ultron, the Sokovia Accords would have not come to fruition. Now, Age of Ultron is a very unique movie because it also introduces us to two people, or should I say, two characters that are very popular now in the MCU, especially one that wreaked havoc on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and that is both Wanda and Vision. Both characters, without Age of Ultron, would have not been introduced, especially in an Avengers movie. Now, why do I say that Age of Ultron is consequential not only for its characters and the Sokovia Accords, but also it spun out into even greater consequences later on, especially if you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's a series that basically mentions events from Age of Ultron. It talks about Sokovia, and ultimately it's what leads into Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and understanding that now we have a new Captain America. And without Age of Ultron, that would have never come to fruition. Now, Ultron is also mentioned in WandaVision, especially when we see Monica Rambeau talking to Wanda when she has that little blip. In that one moment, she talks about Ultron, and it kind of messes up with Wanda's reality. And without the events of Age of Ultron, that wouldn't even be mentioned. So yes, Age of Ultron, even it not being considered the most important movie in the MCU, or the best Avengers movie, it is definitely the most consequential movie of the Avengers. Even though that the events of Endgame and Infinity War were very consequential, we still got most of our heroes back in one piece. But after Age of Ultron, a lot of the story shifts. And without Ultron's story, a lot of things like Vision himself wouldn't have come to fruition as well. And let's remind ourselves that Vision is actually a creation of Ultron and was going to be the sort of conscience transferred into Vision's body. But ultimately, they took Vision's body and made him fight for good. So yes, if we are going to put everything into perspective, Age of Ultron definitely is one of those consequential movies that spun out into different properties, and ultimately, till this day, even in properties that are being released now, Ultron is still being mentioned, and also Sokovia Accords, Wanda, Vision, and all these other situations that lead into what happened in Age of Ultron and why it's so consequential now in the MCU. And having said all of that, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys watching this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and go down in the comments and tell me what you guys thought. Do you guys think that Age of Ultron is the most consequential movie? Or if not, tell me why you don't think it is. And also, while you're down there, go ahead and click the subscribe button, because we still got some more videos coming down the line. So please click that subscribe button and that bell so that you guys can get the notifications that videos are coming. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.